Hi everyone, welcome back to Houseplants Gone Wild. My name's Kelly. Today I wanted to go over actually all of my houseplants. I wanted to kind of just show you the collection that I have. I know I did a video earlier on my houseplant collection, but honestly I probably only did about 30% of it. So I wanted to kind of go over basically all of them, and if I have time, I'm going to throw in a little bit of care tips and tricks that I do for them. As well as go over some of the lighting requirements, such as example, you can see behind me here, I group a lot of my plants together. Just helps with care needs as well as lighting requirements. Yeah, so I'll go over, you won't see me much on camera, but most of the time you're just going to hear me talking as I have the camera facing the plants. Hope you enjoy. So for starters, first thing that you can see here, this was our table centerpiece. This is just here in our kitchen, getting a few of the light requirements. So golden pothos, neon pothos, marble pothos, or epipremnum aerium, and then a enjoy, as well as a parlor palm here in the middle. Just gives it some added height here. Just something nice for the countertops, as well as I have this little zinc coated tray with a little bit of fuzzy pads underneath just to keep it from scratching, as it was on our wood table. So the next thing that we have here is a Sansevieria cylindrica, followed by your golden pothos, or sorry, marble pothos, moonlight, Sansevieria, propagated some ZZ plant, and as well as I have propagating a golden pothos and a zebra, I believe this is a zebra plant is what they call it, but just kind of tucked in the corner here, getting a little bit of sun. This is east facing, and then as you can see we have our rock wall in the backyard there. Moving on to my favorite section, so on this rack here, as you can see, I have a jade plant in the back on the left. I have sort of a bowl of assorted succulents, and you can see that I have one of those yellow sticky tapes for the fungus gnats that just kind of, they come and go throughout the winter time. And in the far back there I have a Gollum jade plant, a what is that called, Peperomia obtusifolia golden barrel cactus, as well as another jade here that's hanging down, and then a white wandering Jew, the Transcantia. And then down below, I have a Hoya publicalis that's starting to vine up into the shelf here. And then I have a Monstera addisonii, once again assorted cactus in the back. Another Monstera addisonii. Hoya, I believe that's a Crimson Queen. And then a nerve plant right there in the middle. And then coming around to the back side over there, on the very bottom, that is a, gosh, what is that? Philodendron Rio. And then at the back, I'm propagating some enjoy pothos at the far back corner there. And then moving on down, we have a peperomia, two of them actually, the silver ripple, and that one is the, I can't remember the name of it. Can't remember them all. But I'm also propagating the silver ripples, so as you can see here, some new growth coming up. This one here is the pink variegated Transcantia that I'm propagating some, Monstera Peru, and a Philodendron Micin. So underneath here I have grow lights. So this one here has one grow light, and then moving up is another grow light, and then where the cacti are, that's where I have two. Just gives them a little extra light throughout the day, but I have turned it off for the video's sake. And underneath, that's where I keep my sort of watering station. Moving on over to the side here, I have a Syngonium, and above it I have the, that would be spider plant, the Bonnie, and above our china cabinet, that's where we have some of our tetrahelix, and in the back corner over here, starting off at the top, I have a Sansevieria, golden pothos, then I have a Dieffenbachia that I started propagating that I just put in a lower light section for the time being because I don't have much room. Golden pothos, and then on the far right is a peperomia. Moving down is that same peperomia, just a little bit larger, and a silver and pothos. Below it, I have a marble pothos. So over here by our patio window, which soon the patio will be filled with plants for the summertime, but this is sort of a southeast facing window. And with that window over there that you can see on the patio, that's definitely a southern exposure. So right here we have a lemon tree that I grew from seed starting last year, and a lemon lime dracaena. I have by the heat register, it keeps it nice and warm, and they're pretty cold and draft hardy is the ponytail palm. I found them to be cold and draft hardy. And then in here is the terrarium that I had made in a previous video, and a bird of paradise. Now this is the orange bird of paradise. I can't remember the name of it, I'll leave the link. It's not the Nikolai, but it is the orange bird of paradise. And a bunch of string of pearls that I've been propagating. Hanging over our wine cabinet here, that is where I have golden pothos. This is one that I take most of my cuttings from for propagation. And then a IKEA ginseng bonsai tree. That's one that I've had for a couple years, and just wanted to sort of give it a different touch, so I put it in a sort of a bonsai style dish. And then over here is a Ficus elastica. I gave it a growing pole just for some support for the summertime. And then over right next to it on the stand, it gets a little bit lower light as we move back. This is just enough lighting to keep them stable for the winter time. So over here, that's a Calathea rufibarbara, I believe, the one with the fuzzy leaves on the bottom. I got this one on sale because it was, as you can see, winter sale probably, and just a little bit haggard. And then I have a Norfolk Island pine, and then a banana tree. As you can see with most of my plants, I do have these little fungus gnat trappings that just kind of helps regulate them throughout the winter time. Moving on over here to this is our staircase, so an area that doesn't get much light is over here with this button fern. Over here it is a sort of a southern, southeast exposure, quite a bright area, so it does help a lot of plants. But in the back we have a Calathea Maui Queen, Calathea orbifolia. That's a plant that I've propagated in the middle there. That is a Calathea White Fusion. And a Calathea, I want to say it's an ornat, no, it's a beauty star, yes, and then a Freddy and a trio star. So moving on over to here, this is the one that I propagated. It needs a little bit of watering, a little bit of love, because as you can see, it's drooping, it's telling me it's time for a drink. So that's a Calathea White Fusion. A little bit of new growth happening, so you can see here that leaf, and then there's a new one just starting to come up. Calathea, I can't remember the Latin name, but it's the rattlesnake lancifolia, I think, and then a ornata down here, a little bit lower light condition, but as you can see, darker foliage, darker lighting. Calathea luberancia, I can't remember, the Never Never plant, and a small, I believe this is a philodendron, Monstera deliciosa. It's a cutting that I got for $5 online, and just from a local gal here off of Facebook. Then moving on, I have with a, I believe this is a begonia. I'll just look up. I got tags here. Garden Angel Plum, or maple, I believe they also call it. Pink Princess Philodendron. Then I have the whale fin Sansevieria. A couple more Sansevieria. I've been moving them around a little bit, trying to get the right lighting. They're not picky, but I just needed this space. The little fern here. Oh, this is a asparagus fern. Philodendron Imperial Red, Philodendron Moonlight. This actually I bought just the other day. That's a dwarf ficus, elastica? No, errata? The fiddle leaf fig. And inside there I have my Hoya compacta. That's the Hindu rope plant. It was struggling a little bit, so I put it in this little jar, and it's putting out new growth. Needs higher humidity, so that's why I put that there. And another peperomia, a little bit larger. The Monstera deliciosa. This is the one that I did in a video for the time-lapse, which I believe I had posted already. If not, I will post that one. A philodendron. So I bought this as a Rio, but someone had told me previously that it might even be a philodendron Brazil, just due to the variegation on the leaves. I have a Brazil that's mostly green, but this one's showing a lot of really prominent yellow leaves and cream in there. So we'll see as it gets a little bit bigger. Calathea Freddy, Peace Lily, Philodendron Birkin. In the back there we have the Dracaena marginata, and I'm propagating one of my taller leaves from a Sansevieria, which I'll show you in the bedroom. Then I have the variegated umbrella and variegated ficus. Moving down, so that is a philodendron mican and a transcantia of the white variegation. Moving back over to the side here, I have a Monstera Addisoni with the string of hearts to the right, and below it another Monstera Addisoni with this is the Sansevieria trifasciata, so this is the next one just beside it, and it's putting out some new growth. And then below I have the prayer plant, the Maranta, and then a begonia, another Sansevieria. This one also is quite tall, if I can get a good shot of it here in the lighting. Dieffenbachia, so that one's, I believe, the Thai. No, this one's not the Thai snow. This one is the Tiki. Yes, Tiki. And then behind it over here, I have, this is a, oh God, what is it? So that one there, I had to look it up. It's a Calocasia esculenta, so it's the black-stemmed elephant ear. To the back there, another Dieffenbachia. I have a Philodendron narrow. Oh, can't forget down there, I have my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, Swiss cheese vine. This is the Eglionema, so the Chinese evergreen, an orchid, and I have, this is the pink variegated Transcantia Wandering Jew that I have. On the windowsill, propagating a spider plant, I have the bunny ear cactus, another cactus, string of pearls. At the back there, there is a string of hearts and a split rock cactus in the back corner on the right, behind the Dracaena marginata. Propagating a ZZ plant, it's just a leaf cutting from my larger one that I have here. And then in the back, I'm also doing a Monstera deliciosa cutting in water. So the roots are doing pretty good, coming along quite nicely. I'll put that in soil pretty soon. Oh, and a ZZ raven. I have the lemon lime zinger, I believe it's called, alocasia. And then this is the bird of paradise that I have. So been propagating a few behind it here. So I have, this is the syngonium on the kitchen table, a cutting of that. And I have string of string of hearts, string of hooks, I believe that one is. Next to it, this is the purple heart plant, or another Transcantia, and then two of the jade plants that I have been propagating in these little teacups. And of course, your average just elephant ear growing in the back. Oh, look at that, some new growth, another day. And then moving over here, we have the Majesty palm giving a little bit of shelter, soaking up some of that southern exposure, and the propagation station. Don't have much right now. I have a Rex vine begonia there on the top. Below it, I believe that's a Scindapsus exotica. Oh, I don't know if I showed that. That's in the other room. Yeah. I have a couple propagating down there. So I have the Dracaena lemon lime, as well as the white variegated Transcantia, and a variegated cast iron plant there at the back. I'm trying to variegate that. It was just a leaf cutting, so we'll see how that turns out. A couple orchids at the back, a Dieffenbachia, or oh, wow, what is that one? Dieffenbachia, I can't remember the name of this one here. Exotica, that's what they call that one. And a Monstera deliciosa, that's a pothos. marble pothos, neon pothos, pothos and joy, and another bird of paradise. So that's another one of the miniature ones. Orange bird of paradise, whereas this one, a lot larger, a lot more mature. That is the bird of paradise Nikolai with the white flowers, and another Calathea lancifolia with a little zebra plant. So that's sort of our living room. Just a few plants, you know, gives it a little bit of a jungle vibe, but it's quite cozy. And in the summertime, a lot of these plants will be on the front deck or out back. So over here I have the Dracaena, that's the Dorado, I believe it's called. Just to show you quickly, backyard, so this is southern exposure. We do have coverage of the deck, so we have hooks that I'll be hanging plants from, and most of the time I put my plants along this wall here. Gives them a good shot of afternoon bright diffuse light. Okay. There's me. So here we have a peperomia, another one, and another peperomia. Same one that was on the bookshelf. I'll leave the link and tell you what kind they are. I can't remember. In this room here, this is our backyard facing, so very sheltered light. It does get bright indirect light a little bit in the afternoon, but I have another one of the Dracaenas, parlor palms, golden pothos. No, that's a marble pothos, and up there I have a golden pothos. Moving on to this other bedroom here, so I have a little bit of a collection. I got sunblaster lights installed up above, and then some of the Amazon cheap just kind of grow lights to help out. So in here I have a parlor palm at the back. I can't remember the name of this one, Dracaena. Very easy to care for. It doesn't need a whole lot of light. Just make sure it doesn't get cold. This is the regular wandering Jew, Tradscantia. This one here, I can't remember what the exact name is. It's a type of prayer plant. And then I have a sago palm. See if I can get above it here. It's a little bit easier. Sago palm. Back here, a Dieffenbachia tiki. Then I have a Majesty palm that I got off of Facebook that I'm trying to revive. So we'll see how that one does. This one here, another Dieffenbachia, but I can't seem to remember the name of it. There's so many of them. Oh, and in the middle here, this one right here, this is another one of those bird of paradise. And oh, here is my exotica, so Scindapsus exotica. And then a Dieffenbachia. I believe that one is it's not the tropic snow. It's not the reflector, can't remember. Oh, and another cylindrica here. This is a cutting of that Dracaena that's in the blue pot on this table here, but it's not doing so well, so I stuck it down here just to kind of see how it will do, just to figure out where I'm going to put it. And I have a pothos, a golden pothos. That in the middle in the white pot, that is actually a blood orange tree. No, that's the grapefruit tree. Behind it, a couple like Sansevieria and a peperomia. They were kind of struggling, so I set them aside. Propagation of a Dieffenbachia. I have, this is a pineapple tree or plant that will soon grow. That's just a top. I cut off the pineapple after I ate it, and seeing how it goes. And then a Ficus elastica taniki. I have two of them there growing, and a mango tree that's kind of struggling here, so kind of quarantined it just for a little while just to see how it does, give it a little bit of more stable light condition that I can regulate myself. Moving on into the bedroom. So at the back here I have another Dieffenbachia, much like the reflector, but I believe that one's the tropic snow. Nope, not too sure on that one. This is the Sansevieria, quite a bit larger than most that I have. It's a little bit more mature, can handle the lower light, but it just doesn't grow as fast in lower lights, so I have it over here for now. I have my Ficus not Lorata, elastica? No, I think that's Lorata. Yeah. And then a Monstera addisonii, another ZZ plant, yucca cane with Dracaena on the Sansevieria, on the window there, and another lemon lime zinger, and that is a Prince of Orange, and a Dieffenbachia reflector. And then up above here I have a Rex vining begonia, actually of a grapevine variety. Gets some pretty good light up here, but it doesn't grow too much in the winter time. Come summertime, when you have this window open, nice fresh breeze, it'll grow a lot quicker. And that is more of a eastern north, facing window. So I just wanted to show in the bathroom here, we have this narrow window. So I have a crocodile fern, a maranta, that's lemon lime. The maidenhair fern was not doing so good out in the house. I put it in here and look at all that new growth. So doing that. And then can't remember the name of it, but I'll leave the link below. So moving on downstairs, this is another one of those dracaenas. As you can tell, not doing so well because it does get a cold draft over here right by the door. And then I have one of those flowering succulent plants. I don't remember the name of them all, but they're in there. And then in our office here, I have one of those peperomias. I have a aloe vera that I'm propagating. Purple heart Tradescantia. That one there is the blood orange tree. Aloe vera, it's kind of overgrown, so I didn't know where else to put it, but down here. And a sago palm that is just not very happy. So gonna probably give it a smaller pot, I'd say, but some fresh soil and give it some more sunshine come the summertime. In the back here, I have a couple more teacups of some succulents that I've sort of been struggling to keep alive, but they seem to be happy here by the window where they get some nice bright indirect light throughout the day.